Hi there, and good morning. I wanted to have a little discussion, walking and talking. I have all these ideas in my head as I'm walking, and then that's a great idea. But I'm out here walking, and I don't write them down, or I don't instantly flip on the camera and start talking about them, and I think this is easiest. Slight, almost podcast-like thoughts on my out and about. So I get asked quite a bit what the basis of this idea. Why are you getting up so early? Why are you doing it on the weekends? And then some of the things that my coach has me doing, why do you think we're doing that? This weekend, for example, I slept on an air mattress that was half full of air. No blankets, no sheets, just an air mattress. And fasted for 24 hours, including just staying active with my day, just no food for 24 hours, and then I've been getting up this 15 extra minutes early and getting out the house at my general wake-up time to go on this walk. And it's been rather gratifying, to be totally honest. I want to talk a little bit about it. Why are you doing this? What's the purpose? Well, I built somewhat on my own. I asked for help along the way, and I think that's important to make note of. I thought that I knew what I was doing, or I had some form of the discipline enough to get there, and at the beginning I did. But discipline is what a person needs to build, because motivation will only take you so far, and every one of us will get motivated and get fired up. Say Monday morning we wake up and watch that YouTube video that just sparks us the right way, and we get that fantastic workout in, or have that amazing day at work. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. We've all been there. And I think it's just important to make note that discipline will far surpass taking you anywhere rather than motivation. But when you mix those two together and you're motivated and you have good discipline, holy moly, the sky's the limit. So we're building a mindset shift, because for a good while, I can be honest, I started this journey very, very heavily motivated. And it was easy to stay motivated because I was a big boy, and I was able to lose weight quickly, so to speak. I got on a carnivoristic ketogenic diet. I felt amazing. I lost a ton of water weight, a ton of unnecessary weight, because I did an elimination diet essentially, and I stayed very strong and dedicated with that diet. And I built a bit of a dedication to it. And then I was fortunate enough to have built the mindset shift to keep it off to a point. I set my goals for just basically losing 100 pounds. I challenged myself to be in the 100s, and I got there. And then I wanted to go back to a little bit of the life that I used to have, and that got hard. Treating ourselves to a cheat meal, and that's okay. I call it refeed meal nowadays. you can still do that stuff. But what I used to do was have one meal and then roll that meal into the rest of the day. And just basically self-sabotage for a whole day. And that's an unrealistic thing to do, only because you can set yourself back like in a wild amount. Just in one day you could clobber in enough food to sacrifice your whole week, basically. So why am I doing the walk challenge? Well, we're trying to build a mindset shift of getting up and walking, acting on some gratitude, making an action plan. Make sure you're expelling some love, trying to change that mindset. Maybe you live in the negative spaces a little bit too much. So we're trying to do that. And then I had a couple people, my wife included, my kids mostly. Why are you sleeping on a half deflated air mattress? The best way that I could describe it, is it's hard to be humble and remember your roots when you're sleeping in silk sheets. And Kylie's, we don't have silk sheets. Obviously, that's a metaphor. But essentially, we get caught up and we get lost in the finer things of life. Yes, we're lucky enough to go to work. Yes, we're lucky enough to have some money rolling in. Yes, we're lucky enough to be able to pay some bills and make these conscious decisions. But when I started this program, we weren't that lucky. For example, was in between jobs, looking for work. We didn't do that for very long. Kylie was very fortunate. For us, I was very fortunate that Kylie has learned to be so good with money that we were ahead of the game on bills. But not everybody gets that fortune or gets that luck. There's people I've met that have made it to the tops of their food chains that literally had a gym membership so that they could get a shower every day. And their office, bedroom, and house was all their vehicle. Some people I've met that didn't even have a vehicle, so that wasn't even in the cards, let alone enough money to have a gym membership. So that's what I mean when I say it's hard to be humble when you're living and sleeping in silk sheets. So this test I did this weekend, sleeping on an air mattress, I woke up stiff as hell, half on the ground, and I ate nothing. And I didn't have to do any of that shit. Let's get that straight. I had food, I had everything here, but it was a good experience to have been able to do it. It taught a guy, just reminded a guy of what could be. So anyway, that's a discussion while talking and walking. We'll talk to you guys again soon. 1 mile a day.